is our special guest, Mr. Roland Smith.
When I write a book, just to make it really simple, I'm writing a book to create readers. So I'm writing the kind of books that I like to read, and I would have liked to read when I was a lot younger. And I think that the librarian here and anybody else would say all you have to do is match the right boy with the right book and they become a reader. And if they don't have a mechanical problem, there's some problem, they can become a reader overnight. So the most important person in this equation is the librarian, because they know the children. I don't know the children, I just write books. But when they match up a kid, especially a boy, with the right book, they go, oh my God, reading is a cool thing. And then they'll read more and more and more and more.
At a certain age, boys do drop off in reading, usually 4th grade and later. Some boys continue to read, of course, but other ones find that they're just not as interested. And we did choose Mr. Smith, Roland Smith, to be our author this year for this reason. He writes adventure stories, mountain climbing, cryptids, fictional animals that might not be fictional because we're finding them slowly, adventures in Africa, Burma, and the students have been enjoying the books. It's very important for the students to have access to an author. It makes it real and come alive for them. Otherwise, you have this physical book, but you have no idea where it came from or how it got into your hands. This is the opportunity to find out how they write, why they write, and to get excited yourself about writing and reading.
I believe everybody here can write as well as me. In fact, I think a lot of you can write better than me, but here's the deal. I know how to write a book and you don't. But I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to show
Do you feel like you have to change sort of the way you think in order to get them to possibly adhere a little bit more to what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm over 60, and but I never matured past 13, so no, it's not a real big issue for me. Well, I say 13. My wife says actually I'm 12. But for me, it's actually a very natural way of looking at the world. That point of view from someone who's 13 is pretty much how I think. So it's not a huge stretch for me. So I don't actually have to think about it, because apparently I'm not very mature.
If you read just Roland Smith's books, you're learning adventure, yes, but you can tell he does a lot of research on the nitty-gritty of actually doing mountain climbing. He also writes history-based ones. We just read Elephant Run with one of the groups, and that's based on World War II in Burma. So reading just helps you with every subject. You learn by reading, and you can learn and have fun at the same time.
The point is to create readers. I'm not trying to create great literature. I have no illusions about myself. I think I do write some pretty good books, but that's really not the issue for me. I'm trying to create readers, and it seems that, luckily for me, my books do create readers. They happen to be the right book for that particular boy, and once they read that book, they'll read other books, not just by me, but by other authors. They'll understand that reading can actually be cool, and that they get something out of it.
And because I have a lot of stuff in my head from reading books, that's what's turned me into an author. One more thing you need to know. When I write a book, I write about what's important to me. And when you guys write your books and stories, you need to write about what's important to you. Say me. There you go.
What's really cool about this? When an author comes to a school, you're a rock star. And you're not an athlete. You're not a movie star. And how cool is that you actually write books and people think that you're like this huge celebrity? It's a really, 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 really cool thing. So you kidding me? I mean, this is like pure joy for me.
It is a lot of fun. I like doing this for this reason. After last year's author visit, I could not keep that man's books in the library. So we're hoping that this continues this year too.
Well, I think anybody can become an author, anyone. And what you have to do is you have to write. It takes practice, and you have to do it every single day. And I write every single day, 500 words every day, 365 days a year, including Christmas. And that's the least amount I write every day, and I never fail. And so the more you write, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, and eventually, if you keep this up for a long time, you're going to become a pretty good writer. And if you wanted to make a living as an author, and trust me, being an author for kids is like the greatest job on earth.